She worked in a building right next to this, and they, one of her last jobs was to order the last nooses for the last hangings in Iowa, which took place down in one of those buildings. And it's 1963, and you ordered nooses from a noose company. You didn't just order ropes. So there were noose companies in the United States in 1963. The last guy executed was Harry Figor. He abducted a doctor from Dubuque for drugs and money. Took him over to Illinois. He got the drugs, but he didn't get the money, so he shot him in the back of the head in a ditch and left him. He was arrested, brought back for trial by the feds, and he decided that they were going to execute him. And so he had to be executed here. We get the telegram from JFK. We've got it down at the Historical Society, not granting him clemency. So Figor is the last federal inmate executed until Timothy McVeigh in 1998. The next one by the feds would be the Boston bomber. And I just, remembered this story, growing up, and I wanted to come down here and photograph this place while there were still inmates in here. Because a lot of photographers go into abandoned prisons and shoot macabre shots of rust and, darkness and paint chips. What I was going to do is, just set the camera on the tripod, open up the shutter so you'd have movement. You would see the movement of the inmate rather than the face, because victims' rights advocates, they don't want these guys glorified. Instead, I get down here and we go through tours, some things, end up in a shed on the north side of here, and inside the shed are all the documents of the prison. It's the prison history, and this room is full of dust and bugs and mildew, and in these National Biscuit boxes from around 1900, later Nabisco, are all the glass plate negatives of all the inmates from the 1860s on. And they're just covered in mildew, they're deteriorating, and she's like, we're not gonna fucking move this shit. This is, she was really unsentimental about it. And I said, well, I think this stuff's really important. And they did an article on this later for USA Today and front page of the Register. But I said, maybe I can do something with it. I took a couple of boxes back with me, called a guy at Metropolitan Museum of Art and asked him how to digitize glass plates. He told me, light tables, copy stand, 50mm lens, shoot down, and all of a sudden I've got negatives on my computer, Photoshop it, I invert it, and you see these eyes for the first time in 150 years. And then I started getting little anecdotal stories about them. And I took this over to the director of the Department of Corrections, director of State Cultural Affairs, Mary County and her staff, and I think, not Tony Jan, Jeffrey Dawson. Yeah. We're there, and basically, no one has any money. We can't help you. But the director of the DOC came to me after I leave the room, and he's like, I'll help you do this, but you got to train female offenders from Mitchellville to do the work. So I taught them how to use computers. They didn't know how to make folders and how to use cameras, and they did 11,200 of these things over a winter, and then it made the news. So
it's incredible.
If you go onto that USA Today article, you'll see these images in negative, and then it inverts, and it's really cool. So I started a special collection at the University of Iowa. I've got the registries up there, and part of the students over there, humanities are getting hammered right now by the Board of Regents and everyone else. I've got undergrads in history and sociology going through these registries, digitizing them. They're taking the data out and matching them up with the glass plate negatives, and we'll have this first in the world digital online archive of the whole history of incarceration, but it's also a history of photography. So now we've got a criminology major starting at Iowa, and I think this is going to be a good thing for the University of Iowa. But with Julie, we wanted to get all students involved. We think that your energy, your ideas are really important to the success of this. Plus, when you go in front of, a town hall or the general public, they don't hate you. your kids. We can't pick on you. If Leonard goes in there and says, well, here's what we're going to do, 5 people are going to have 5 reasons to go against him. But when it's you, hey, these guys are so cute, you know. But that is strategic. But we also now have Grinnell is sending down faculty to do oral histories, former guards and former inmates, and it'll do video and audio of that, and that'll go mostly to the museum. One of the other, I got the University of Iowa Museum Studies students thinking about what a museum would look like in here. So I'm trying to get students an opportunity to get an education and do something real that you can go later and go, here's what I did. You know, whenever you're interviewing or whatever you do in your life, it can be something you're proud of, but it's also going to be something that I think is good for this region.
Well, and you brought up the Duke earlier. I took my family, we actually went up there this summer.
Yeah.